My jeez, I'm seriously contemplating getting rid of my main camera and just using this. This thing is sick. What's going on, you lot? I hope you're all sweet. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, and I'm not gonna lie, this product right here is making me want to do a little bit of mobile filmmaking. And I ain't even kidding. This thing is lit. So without saying any more, let me introduce you to Zhiyun Smooth 4. Now this gimbal right here is a mobile phone gimbal, and it is the very first mobile phone gimbal in the world to have a follow focus. Now the Zhiyun Smooth 4 was actually created for filmmakers. Nowadays with your iPhones and your Androids or whatever you lot are using, I'm a bit of an Apple geezer when it comes to phones, not computers. But nowadays you can get a phone that can shoot 4K, 240 frames a second, and you can get some proper nice images out of it. You don't need to be going out and buying your A7Ss, your Sony FS5s, Arri Alexas and all that. You can actually just use your phone and you can make something pretty damn decent with it. So therefore you're gonna need a gimbal that can actually step up and put up with a really good camera like an iPhone or some of your Android cameras. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get straight in to the Zhiyun Smooth 4. So let's look straight in the box. Inside the box, we have got the gimbal itself with the follow focus. We've also got this lovely little aluminium tripod to mount on the bottom of the gimbal, and obviously all of your cables. So no messing about there. So let's have a little word about the specs of this new gimbal. So the gimbal itself can load up to 210 grams, which is a pretty decent load weight for a small mobile phone gimbal, not gonna lie. Now, one of the best things about the Smooth 4 is the fact that you've got every single button that you could possibly need on the controller itself to control the gimbal and to control the camera. Now with the Zhiyun app, you can actually control your camera completely manually, and you can change all of the settings on the grip itself without having to touch the camera while the motors are trying to stabilize it. So for example, you got your menu button, which will show you all of the different camera and function menus. In here, you can change things like your resolution, your frame rates, your exposures. And for me, this is really important. I always shoot at a 180-degree shutter angle, and that means that I have to manually control the camera settings myself. I actually stuck my ND filters from my Mavic Pro onto my phone with blue tack, and it actually worked. It allowed me to keep that 180-degree shutter without being overexposed. I ain't having no choppy footage that's about 1/2000th of a second shutter that just looks dodgy as hell. I'm all about getting that nice, smooth motion blur. And thanks to the Zhiyun app, you can actually do that straight from the gimbal. Lovely. Anyway, back to the menus. On the grip, you've got the pan follow and lock mode. These are just your typical pan follow mode, and then your lock mode, just like most of the other Zhiyun gimbals. You've also got snapshot, so you can actually just take a still picture. You've also got the record button, which obviously rolls the camera. We've got the display button on the top right, which allows you to toggle between different displays. And we've also got this function button on the bottom left, which allows you to toggle between your focus and your zoom functions on the hand dial. The control wheel in the middle allows you to select different options, and it also has a clickable function. On the back of the grip, we have a double trigger. Now the bottom trigger allows you to have complete follow mode instead of just pan follow, which comes in really handy when you're on the fly and you quickly just want to jump into that mode. And the top trigger allows you to jump into phone go mode. Now this mode makes your gimbal extremely sensitive to movement. The motors work a lot faster and you can get some much higher intensity movement from your gimbal motors. This is great for when you're doing things like sports, or if you just want to have some really nice, interesting transitions between your shots, or if you just want to make things look funky as hell. Anyway, enough about all that stuff. Let's crack on with the main feature of this gimbal. Now the follow focus wheel, it is smooth as absolutely gorgeous. Now I was actually really surprised at how well the follow focus actually worked. I wasn't thinking it was going to be very smooth. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit dodgy, a little bit jumpy, but it's actually perfect. And you can go into the settings and you can also kind of change the sensitivity as well. So if you want to have it really sensitive at very small adjustments, then great, you can have it like that. Or you can have it at really low sensitivity, so you have to kind of turn it a little bit more. I like to have mine about medium. That's about my sweet spot. Now also you can use this dial to use as a zoom. This just zooms in your camera as you usually would if you didn't want to use it as a follow focus. And that leads us quite nicely onto the very last feature of this gimbal, which is Vertigo Mode. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen, but in some particular movies, there's this awesome shot. It's also known as a trombone shot here in the UK. The Vertigo shot is where you move closer to a subject, but you zoom out. So you decrease your focal length as you move closer to the subject. Here's my boy Connor, done a little vertigo shot on his face. It didn't look too bad, to be honest. I was pretty buzzing. Now, if you're gonna use this very creatively, you can do some proper decent stuff with it. I'm waiting to see someone actually do something really interesting with this Vertigo Mode that I think is just gonna blow people's minds. So let's talk a little bit about the build quality. Now, this thing is made completely of plastic and aluminium, and it is proper light. And that's exactly what you want when you got a phone gimbal. You don't want to be lugging about tons of heavy gear. You just want to be on the go, absolutely flying about, whacking your gimbal out as and when the shot arises, and you want to be fast and on your toes. You don't want to be lugging about loads of gear, mate, trust me. Overall, the build quality is actually very good. I'm very impressed with the build quality. It's got a lovely little design, lovely little accents on the sides and stuff like that. Typical Zhiyun stuff. Naughty little product. Just like most of the other Zhiyun phone gimbals, you can allow portrait mode with this gimbal, which is absolutely essential nowadays, especially when you're going live for the gram and you're absolutely killing the stories. And when the gimbal's on, you can actually lock it into place and then it will go into standby mode. So you can save the battery of the gimbal and you can know it's safe, but it's still turned on. So when you want to rock and roll, boom. And there you go, you're sweet. And finally, yes, you can use low mode with this gimbal. That is the mode that I'm using pretty much 100% of the time. I like to go inverted mode. I don't know why, I just feel like I can control gimbals much better when they're upside down. I know it don't quite make sense, but I don't know, I'm just better at using them upside down. I think I can just maneuver my arms a bit better and then obviously it just hangs nicer. I don't know why I do dodgy little things when I'd make these videos. So yeah, I'm really happy that you can actually do that with this gimbal, because if you couldn't, I'd be a bit pissed, but I'm not, because you can. Now I come to the point of the video where I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm trying to think like, right, what cons can I put to this gimbal? And I'm not gonna lie, I can't actually think of any cons, which is annoying because I always like to finish on a bit of a con and then switch it back to a positive. But I'm just gonna have to end it on a positive, unfortunately, because this thing is proper damn naughty. It looks good, it shoots well, it's light, it's compact, and it's just decent. And I can pull me focus. And the big elephant in the room, people, I understand, I know you wanna know, I wanna know as well. Shall I tell you? I don't know, shall I? Yeah, go on, I'll tell you. No. Yeah, all right, I'll tell you. So the price of this thing comes in at a very cheap $140. So if you want to go and check out this gimbal, I'm going to chuck a cheeky little link in the description and you can go and say wagwan to it if you really want. So people, to wrap this up, this is the future of filmmaking. This does not give you any excuses whatsoever to say, oh, I haven't got the gear. Yes, you have, mate. Everyone's got a phone nowadays. So grab your phone, grab yourself a gimbal and make some awesome content. No excuses. Right, people, that is it from me. I'm pretty happy to be doing another review. This is the first one I've done in about 4 or 5 months. Check out the new backdrop. Sick. What are you lot saying about this new setup? Is it decent? Is it not decent? I think it's pretty decent. Anyway, people, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a cheeky thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.